And we are live. Hello, Kim. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Alex. I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. And it is great to see you on here, Kim. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, now is the time to start thinking of questions for Kim before she shares her incredible journey. But most importantly, guys, start thinking of questions that perhaps will help you obviously take that first step in having your own journey and having your own transformation. But Kim, right now, it is all about you. We are celebrating you. So let's go right back to the start. So tell us, what were you struggling with before we met?
Oh, I was struggling. I had been struggling for some time with my weight. I was menopausal. I'm 49, and I had just been desperately unhappy for years. Years. I'd struggled with different diets and hadn't ever found anything that was successful that I could stick with. So it was just a bit of a vicious circle, really.
What did you try?
I had tried over the years, I had tried everything. I tried Scottish Slimmers and Weight Watchers. I'd tried different diet pills. I tried Atkins diet. I tried fasting. They all worked to some degree, but I always felt hungry on them. And also, practically as soon as I finished on the diet, it just went straight back on again and more. So.
And look, how did you feel when you regained the weight?
Oh, just desperate, You're low enough, your self-esteem's low, and you're just not feeling yourself, you're not happy, you're tired, lethargic, and you do something that you think is going to change things, make a difference, and then you end up heavier than you started, And the big turning point for me was the fact that I weighed heavier than I did. Said this numerous times, than when I was 9 months pregnant, and I didn't have the excuse anymore that I had just had the baby, because she was she's 10 and a half now. So basically for more than that length of time, I had been unhappy with my weight and nothing had worked really.
And when you say unhappy, like what situations in particular, Kim, would it bother you the most?
Oh, I mean, I would make excuses not to go out. Sometimes I'd cover up, I'd go out wearing a top and a throw over it and not want to take it off when I got to wherever I was going. If I was going to the restaurant, if we were at family parties, I didn't want to get up and dance. I remember being at a family thing and my daughter wanted to get up and dance, and I just felt huge and didn't want to get up in the dance. I wasn't drinking and I didn't have any confidence. And in the end, my husband got up with her, but it made me actually afterwards, it made me feel really bad that I couldn't even get over that for the sake of my child. And that's sort of, that's not a nice feeling. But that happened, numerous times, that you felt awkward and uncomfortable. And I was forever cancelling things because I didn't feel confident.
What have you missed out on, if you mind me asking?
I've just nights out with friends, and sometimes my husband would say about going for dinner. I didn't want to do that because I'm on a diet and I don't want to blow my diet for the week for the sake of going out on a Saturday night with him. Obviously, during lockdown, that's all changed, hasn't it? Nobody's going anywhere. But prior to that, no, there was loads of things missing out on, cancelling things at the last minute or deciding to drive, just because my confidence and my self-esteem were really low. And my friends noticed it, my mum noticed it and kept telling me to give myself a shake, but it's just how you're feeling. You're all up in your own head, aren't you, because you're unhappy and you don't know how to change that cycle.
And look, what made you feel that we could help you?
I always joke about your TVs and your computers listening to you, and I had been moaning about it for long enough, and then an advert popped up and I sort of followed on the outer group. I followed that for some time. And then we were going on holiday, we were going up to Skye for a few days, and I logged a call with you, and I just felt everything changed in that phone call, even prior to, because we'd had a couple of messages prior to that, and you had made me think about a few things, and one of the things that you said to me was to find a photograph of myself that I was happy with myself in. And I store all my photos on my phone on the cloud, and I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of photographs, and they go back, the photographs go back further than when my daughter was born. And I couldn't find a single, I could find a couple that were head and shoulders, but I couldn't find any where I wasn't hiding behind somebody, or I just couldn't find a single photograph that I was happy with. And in those messages and that initial phone call, it was a turning point.
What people don't realize is that if you're hiding behind people in a photograph, or if you can tell that you're smiling but you're not enjoying being photographed in the first place, it's just reducing your likelihood of actually going back and reliving that memory. You know, it's actually cutting off our ability to go back and truly appreciate that, or also just not be fixated about our weight. And obviously we don't want that to be all there is. We don't want that to be all there is. And Kim, what have you achieved? What have you achieved right now?
What have I achieved? Well, I've lost over 3 stone.
Ah!
Over 3 stone.
Nuts! Yeah. Over 3 stone.
Over 3 stone. I was a 14, creeping into a 16, depending on the shop. I'm now a 10, sneaking into 8s. I've got 8s in my wardrobe that I bought. I bought 10s on the run up to Christmas, and then had to send them back, and thought I'll just cheekily I'll try and order the 8, and maybe it might fit, and they did.
My God.
Just changed my life. I go out in January. My husband set a challenge for my husband, my child, and I to run 5k every day, and I thought, there's no way that I'm not running it fully. I jog, walk, but I've done it every day. And well, we started it on the 6th of January, so I've got to go to the 6th of February. But I'm doing that every day. I'm doing my programme. I've got so much more energy. I've came off my HRT, which is massive. I've been on that for over a year, using different types of pills, but never quite finding a pill that worked for me. And I think part of it was just my diet, not exercising. I've got a whole new lease of life. You know, I go out and I walk the dog twice a day. Her legs have shrunk by about 6 inches because she's constantly getting walked. Got a running machine in the summer. I had one in order for months and months. I was constantly trying to get one. Everybody wanted a running machine in the first lockdown, and I finally got one. That's sitting in my kitchen just now. I've bought gym equipment, barbells. My husband is forever tripping over equipment in the house because I've got the space for it yet.
I love it. And tell me, like, how has it affected them? How has it affected your husband and obviously your child?
Well, I'm much more involved, I feel, with them. It's me that's pushing. I guess at the moment all we can do is go out for walks. You know, you can't go and do much else, but it's me that's pushing. Let's go and do something. I'm always finding. I joined a Ramblers Association to find out where there was. I haven't met up with anybody yet, but to find out where there was different walks in our area that we could go. We go out and we walk 5-10 miles on a Saturday or a Sunday. I've bought everybody waterproof shoes. We're up in the hills. We'd never have done anything like that, you know. Got so much more energy. My husband says I'm a happier person. And the funny thing is, I said to you before, my daughter, she kickboxes, and so I meal prep for her all the time, and I'm conscious of what she's eating. I'm conscious of her exercise. I'm conscious of, you know, looking after her, and yet I never did it for myself. Never did it for myself. Meal prepping for me, that was a new thing that I learned on this programme. Planning what I was going to make for dinners for us, for the family. I used to meal prep for her for a Saturday, like for travelling through to Edinburgh for her kickboxing or for going to competitions. I'd have a cool bag full of food, all worked out, all the calories and, you know, all the protein, and I never thought to do it for myself. I'd grab a bag of chips or a hot dog or you know, a bag of crisps out the bag.
Why do you think
Like
that
to.
is? Why do you think it is that people struggle to put themselves first? Because I see it all the time as a common obstacle. Why do you think it is, Kim?
I didn't think of it as putting other people first, or or not thinking of myself. It was when I started the program that I actually started to think about it more. It's, you know, and ensure that I thought about myself first. Simple things like, one of the things in the plan was to make sure that you sit down to have a meal. That's just so simple. And yet I never did it. Half the time at dinner, I was picking at the food whilst I was cooking the dinner, and then I would sit down and I'd have practically nothing on my plate because I've been picking at it whilst I was cooking. Or like lunches or breakfast, making for everybody else and grabbing something on the go, and never sitting down, and even if it's just 10 minutes, I never used to do that for myself. I don't know why. You're just so busy you're so caught up in your life, aren't you, that you're sorting everybody else out before you think about yourself. I think.
Do you know, Kim, you're coming across so calm and collected and confident, and I love that about you. I love that about you. I really do. Take that compliment. I'm serious, because, like, honestly, how the distance you have come is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, well, obviously, it's not about what you achieve, it's about what you maintain. What makes you believe you can maintain this now?
Well, apart from anything, the plan, the food plan, all the prepping, that's just instilled now in my brain. On my fridge just now, I get my husband involved. I get him to look through the recipes and tell me what 4 or 5 meals he wants, because we all eat the same. My daughter will eat the same as us. And I get him to choose, and I write my shopping list. It's just instilled in my brain now, and I know that when I'm going shopping, I'm going for what's on my list. Yes, there's a few other goodies that are in the pack, but the reason it's different is, first of all, I've never ate so much in all my life on this plan. It's not felt like I've read that over and over and over in the group and comments, you know, people saying that they can't believe how much they eat. At first, I couldn't believe, like, even simple things like eating white rice, or that I could have bread, because in my head, it's instilled in you from silly diets from before. You can't eat bread, you can't have white rice, you know, you shouldn't have potatoes, and yet everything's clean and healthy, and so it is what the name says. It is sustainable. You know.
And it has to be. It
Yeah.
has to be, because if it's not, what's the point?
Well,
Like,
that's
what?
sorry. I was just going to say, any other diet that I had done before, they always said to you, you have to be able to see yourself doing this in 6 months to a year or 2 years time. And previously you couldn't, because you were eating such a small calorie allowance.
Yeah.
But it wasn't doable. Yes, you lost weight, but that's only because you deprived yourself. This isn't like that, and it's all about the exercise as well, the program, and getting you moving, and it's exactly what I needed at the time.
And look, obviously, Kim, there's people who, well, are nervous and have tried countless diets, countless things, and haven't been able to achieve sustainable weight loss. And like, a lot of them are watching here tonight. But one thing that I find is a big obstacle is that people think, well, whatever doesn't work for me, that's not going to work for me. So what would you say to inspire someone to make a positive change for themselves?
I think, well, if you're ready in your own mind, and your mind's open to trying something new, just to go with it and to give it 100%, and very quickly you discover that you're not having to work as hard to make those changes, because it's a plan that's written for you, you know, and it becomes easier. That's what I found.
Oh, Kim, thank you so much for sharing. And there's people congratulating you here. We've got Karen congratulating you for being off the HRT. Julie Mitchell as well saying amazing. Karen can't get over the 3 stone. Like, and I know you obviously from their Zooms and obviously from the inner circle as well. And you've achieved so much, Kim. You've achieved so much. So what's next for you? What are you going to do next?
Well, we're in the process. We're going to get a gym built.
My God.
So we were really just a garage. We're going to get a garage built and make it into a gym so that my daughter can train and so that I can get all this equipment that's in different rooms. Get my running machine out my kitchen. Get my barbells out the spare bedroom. Get the kettlebells out of our bedroom. Get them in one place, and just to carry on with it and just to see where it goes, you know.
Oh my God. And guys, just those of you who are watching, obviously you don't need to get your own gym. Obviously you can do everything you want with just body weight if you wish. But what I love about Kim is that right now this is becoming ingrained as part of your life.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do every little thing right now to keep getting better and better and better. And that growth mindset, that thirst for knowledge and self-development, you don't unlearn that. You don't unlearn it. That keeps continuing on and on. Any last words to inspire people who are thinking of diving in and actually changing their lives?
Oh, you should just go for it. Don't take the uncertainty of past diets, and don't take that negativity with you. If you're thinking about it, just go for it. It's the team behind Alex, it's just second to none. You know, there's always somebody there willing to offer advice. It's a great team, it's a great network. Haven't even touched on the fact that there was your sister Danny that does physio. When I started the program, I couldn't do some of the exercises because I had damage to my left knee and I had a problem with my right shoulder. So even before we started the program, I got physio exercises that I'd had physio for 11 months and hadn't fully resolved the problems. And I couldn't even lift this right arm up straight. And now it's not straight up, but it's up to here. I mean, I was only able to lift it about 8 inches initially from the bottom, from where it hung at my side when I first started the physio. And then Danny gave me some exercises for the first 2 or 3 weeks before I started the program. So I mean, it was worth its weight in gold. So if anybody's thinking about it, I could only recommend them to go forward with it.
Oh, Kim, you've done the hard work. You've had the initiative to obviously keep asking questions. We've just been the people to facilitate that, but you're the person who's achieved all of this, and you should be so proud of yourself, Kim. 3 stone,
I am.
shoulders up to the ceiling. I love it. Well, guys, honestly, it's a pleasure, of course, to speak to Kim. Kim, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your incredible story, and just keep going.
I will.
I've no doubt in my mind that you will. Have a wonderful night and speak to you very soon, Kim.
Okay, take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Congratulations.
Thank you.